Hello and welcome back. So I've been reading these documents while on my long break. It wasn't a short break, it was a long break. And I've never seen a script like this before. Like this joint data, when I try and look for it, it's not like in a separate class. It's within a class that I found by digging through a lot of code. It's in this physics underscore joint. Right in the bottom? No, wait. Right here, yeah. And apparently you could still use it as a static kind of class, but it's not a class, it's a struct. You can use a function. Never seen this before. I still don't get this blob asset reference. So I'm just going to copy the code. Alright, so let's just use the scripts, see if it works. So we're just going to shove these prefabs that I took from the example and just put it in my project, see what happens. I probably have to change the material because it's not universal render pipeline. I guess I'll use try the prismatic first and add some materials. I guess I'll make a gray material. So Unity crashed for no reason, but at least my code editor is still open. Pretty much the only time I should be worried about crashes in Unity is when I'm modifying the scene and modifying inspector values in the scene. But yeah, that's a crash. So the cube just goes flying. Pretty sure that's not how the joint works. It's probably not converting, that's why. My guess is because there isn't a convert game object to entity, there might be a system in the example that creates all the stuff. Maybe it's this one. Ah, yeah, this one. Physics Joint Conversion System. Oh, so it works. So if I rename it to something else, it won't work. I'll put another T. Of course it crashes when I'm about to test something. Right, so now we'll try if the script works after we rename the class. It shouldn't work because the converter script is getting all the ones with prismatic joint without the extra T. Well, there's a compiler error, so I can't test it. But I guess that just proves that apparently, I guess it is. Don't know what I was trying to say there, but this is how you make a conversion system. So what is this doing? It's using the lambda function, which I don't understand too well, but it somehow works. Now, I don't know if I should just figure out how it works or just use it. I mean, I could probably just use it instead of figuring out how it works. But I am curious on how it works. All I know is that this is used for the for each entities.for each. So let's go over this again. Create joint, it's called here. It requires a base joint. So this whole class. Oh yeah, you can do that. I've been thinking in whatchamacallit, data-oriented design for a while now that I'm starting to forget object-oriented programming. I've actually never looked through the mono behavior and what it inherits. I didn't know it inherited this much stuff. I thought mono behavior itself had all the game object and stuff, but apparently it's in component. In an object has a name and destroy, instantiate, some other stuff. So this is the base class, and this gets, since the mono behavior, you can get the game object, and using game get primary entity, you can get the entity of the game object because it's part of the game object conversion system, I guess. And then it calls this create, which has to be overridden by one of the... It has to be overridden. You have to make a new class to inherit it and change it because it's abstract. Alright, so I kind of get it now. But more importantly, I can use it. So we can actually do some fun stuff. I wonder if there's anything else I need to learn. Stop messing around with joints in my own project. So what's this modify? So it's using the prefab physics body properties and changing it, depending on what you put. Alright, so I probably won't need this too often. Since I'm making a VR game, I don't want anything to go through any other thing. Oh wait, when you stab with a sword, I'd probably want that. Yeah, for sharp objects, they should be able to go through things and turn kinematic. So how would I change it from dynamic to kinematic? So it removes the physics velocity when it's kinematic. But why would you remove the physics mass? Oh, the motion type is what it currently is. And it changes the material, which is probably something I don't want to do that often. Because according to the talk from Oculus, when converting to Quest, you should avoid any shader changes. But that's very high on very expensive computationally. This one's changing the collider size, which, don't know if I would do this much either. So let's go through this. Mono behavior has the min and max value. I'm assuming min value to change into. It's adding it to the entity and setting the scale to 1. So it's using pointers here. So this is a check on whether it reached the target that was set in the component. Wait, what? Actually, I don't get this logic. Here's where it changes, apparently, the graphical representation. So that's what I was trying to look for. I was trying to look for where it actually changes the collider itself. So it gets the pointer of the collider and changes the radius here. So it's casting it into a sphere collider instead of a null collider, so you can access the radius and set the new radius of the sphere collider. So you have to manually set both the collider and the object itself if you want it to feel the same when it expands or something. This could be something for when you're making an explosion, I guess, that expands slightly. Fire. So this actually changes the whole shape. Using prefab. What's a dash pot? Linear dash pot? Oh, that's some interesting behavior. I'm gonna search that up. Linear dash pot. Oh, is this for when you want to do the liquid stuff? I'm trying to look for... I think it's this one where the object can bounce. Oh yeah, it's this one. Unfortunately, it's done... I think this is the old way. This must be the prismatic one. I'm trying to figure out which one would be best to use for a humanoid character. Probably this one, in the bottom left. So I'm guessing that's a prismatic. Oh wait, it's probably this one. Because this is probably that one object. So this one's probably this cube. I'm assuming this row is this. So it's a hinge? So this is a hinge joint. Oh, this is the other way around. It should be right here. So this is the joint I should use for hitting humanoids with a stick. Alright, I just want to see that. Now let's just look at these examples. Oh, it crashed again. Oh, that's crashing and making a crash log. Well, look at this linear dash pot. Although I have no idea what this is. Like, I don't get the logic of a linear dash pot. Oh, that's a good example. So it's not a joint. It feels a lot like a joint, but it's not a joint. I'm probably going to ignore that for now. Because the joints is pretty much the most important thing to learn. So I don't get what this example is supposed to be. Alright, this doesn't seem too important just yet. Now, Jacobians, I've heard of the word being used in one of the demos. Oh, it's how the object collides. So does it just go through or does it deform it? No, it just goes through. Oh, I just learned something there. This is how you're supposed to do the multiple text. Just the text mesh. Oh, it's one way to do it. Don't know if you can hear it, but I might be speaking a bit weirdly because, I don't know, I just feel tired and not as focused as I was a few days ago. Probably take a break once I finish all this physics stuff, all this physics demo stuff, then I'll do something fun working on my project in VR. Because I've been looking at demos all week. I haven't really done anything except convert my project to 2019.3. So I don't know what's happening here. It's changing the surface somehow. Well, I guess I'll learn it when I need to learn it. So this is supposed to be a character controller made with pure ECS. So it's doing all the input checking in a component system. Apparently there's a muzzle flash that's supposed to happen when you shoot. I'll probably use this for the OVR player. Oh yeah, I forgot it crashed. I guess I should try and convert the OVR player into pure ECS, or as much as I can to ECS. I also need to make a spawning system so I can easily spawn stuff while in game to test. Kind of like Boneworks' orange gun where you shoot and it spawns something in the world. Might make something like that. Or maybe like Pavlov where they have a radial menu and you buy stuff. This trail thing might be something to put in a game to like predict where the enemy will swing. And it looks expensive to calculate though. At this point I'm just looking at the other tests. Pretty much they're demos for real life cases, real world situations, game dev situations. What? That's a lot of objects. I definitely can't do this on the quest. So what's this verify collision do? Oh, this is cool. You can test all of them using this. Oh, so this is comparing mono behavior collisions and ECS collisions. I don't know that. Actually, no. It's supposed to be showing the difference between static geometry that's scaled weirdly and dynamic geometry that's scaled weirdly. Non-uniformly, not weirdly, it's just non-uniform. Maybe I should use this mesh for testing in my VR game. Maybe I will just take this mesh. Actually, what I'll do is copy the whole thing and try and use it as a subscene, because I haven't tried subscenes yet. Why is it opening it in code? Why can't I open the scene? Guess I'll do it this way for now. So how do I do subscenes again? And it still opens in code. Alright, so I'm just gonna build this, then I'm gonna probably stop there and work on it tomorrow, because I feel pretty mentally drained right now. So it crashed. Not the game, but Unity crashed. One thing I want to test is the button, if it actually works by colliding with it. Thought I'd look at this before I stopped this video, because the plan was to finish all the physics stuff by the end of this week, and then do all the aesthetic stuff next week. I probably can't do this one. I can't do it in 2 days, probably. I'm not sure. Maybe, maybe not. I guess I'll do the Dynasty Warriors part where you fight many enemies. Oh my god, it crashed again. Well, there seems to be a lot of issues, so I'm probably going to end the recording here. And once I get it working and not crashing, I'm probably going to fix the button and see if it works. So tomorrow we're going to actually make joints in our game. We're going to try and make a character. And we're going to try and make our OVR player into ECS. That's it for now. Until next time.